Welcome to the Light, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back for another edition of Lights, Camera, Rant. As always, I'm your wonderful host, Lee, and what we'd like to do is get in the first thing with news, and then we get into the next two reviews we got for our two shows, Peacemaker and Boba Fett, which Boba Fett has wrapped up. But before we get into those, let's see what's happened in the past week. And I don't know if it's because the year's just started, but there seems to be announcements coming left, right, and center. I don't know if it's because the year's in full gear, but there has been so much to just read. I'm like, oh my god, this is happening. Oh my god, this is happening. So, as always, I try to make sure to keep you guys up to date. So, first things first. So, we know that Disney are planning to make a TV show called Star Wars Endor, which has the cast from Rogue One returning, which is set 5 years before that movie, which I keep telling everyone this. Out of all the Star Wars films, Rogue One is the most war film out of all of them. Go check it out. It's a solid film until you realize halfway through you're like, oh my god, they all die, because you don't see them later. And obviously the killer scene with Darth Vader in the hallway, which is still one of my favorite scenes out of all of Star Wars. So this show, the reason why this is coming in the news, because we assume that this will come out later this year. Filming has been completed. This will come out after Obi-Wan and will consist of 12 episodes. And what we know so far is that what got announced is they're making season 2 ahead of the release. So we assume the fact that the filming will start at the end of this year, obviously when the new season 1 does start. But yeah, so obviously there must be a lot of hype around the show, and Disney has a lot of faith in the show because it is getting a season 2, and I assume the fact it will still get its 12 episodes. So yeah, that's very interesting, because so far the only other Disney Plus show that has got a season 2 is Mando so far. Moving on, unfortunately, now last week I did say that Arnie Schwarzenegger posted a photo of him as Zeus. Didn't know if it was for a TV show, didn't know if it was for a movie. However, as we've just seen with the Super Bowl, it was just for an ad. Disappointing, because I was like looking forward. I was like, oh, what's he going to be doing? Nah, just a Super Bowl ad for some car. I can't remember what car it is, but yeah, just an ad. So nothing exciting on that point. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's anticlimactic. Oh, anyway. What also got announced is that both Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Punisher, they're all leaving Netflix on the 1st of March. And the rumor is that they're all going to Disney Plus. Now, that's very interesting to see how that's all going to go, because if they all go to Disney Plus, will Daredevil get a new season? Because in a recent interview, Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil, has said that he does know a little bit about what's going to happen with Daredevil and Kingpin in the MCU. Obviously, he didn't divulge on what's going to happen, but he does know that we will see these characters again, and he's all up for more crossovers, which, as any of us fans, yes, please. Would love to see more Daredevil, especially in Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland. But yeah, so guys, quickly watch all Netflix shows before the 1st of March if you're interested, because they're all leaving. Moving on, what we also got in the news was the fact that Michael Jackson biopic movie is being made. No director yet, no star, but they are making a new biopic movie. It's going to be very interesting to see who's going to take up the mantle as Michael Jackson in that movie. No release date either. It's just been announced. So that should be interesting, and see what kind of road that will take. And also what we also saw in the past week, which was no surprise when I read this. This is becoming a common thread. So Village Roadshow Pictures is suing WB for putting The Matrix Resurrections on HBO Max. So Village Roadshow Pictures was part of the production company for The Matrix, and they're suing WB because the fact that obviously if it goes on to HBO Max, they lose the almighty dollar and box office goes down. And the reason why I'm not surprised is this is exactly what happened with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman got split, went on HBO Max as well, and in the same vein, both Black Widow with Scarlett Johansson. So I understand why companies do it, but the risk is not almost outweighs the cost. They're being sued for this. Like, just let the box office run, and then next month, boom, put it on your streaming service. But I feel like that this won't be the last time we see this. With the growth of streaming services become more apparent, and obviously with COVID, I don't think it's going to be the last time, honestly. However, I could be wrong, but with HBO Max, that's 2 for 2 now, so I have no doubt everything comes in threes. And what we got this past week was where we got the first poster first proper poster of Lightyear with Chris Evans and new trailer, which looks absolutely gorgeous and stunning and looks like it's going to be a huge space adventure movie, which I'm all up for, and I can't wait to see this in the movies. So we get obviously a lot more backstory of what's happening, as well as we do see Zurg, which sort of like a lot in the shadows, but Zurg looks to be a lot bit beefed up and looks a lot taller than Chris Evans. Obviously, Buzz Lightyear appears to be compared to Toy Story movies, but it's not a long trailer, but I can't wait. It looks really good and big, space adventure vibes. And I have no doubt with Pixar, it's going to be fantastic. What we also got was the fact that Russell Crowe has joined the cast for Sony's Kraven the Hunter with Aaron Taron Johnson, which is meant to be released on the 13th of the 1st, 2023. So, interesting what Russell Crowe, he might play as a dad, I'm guessing, because he's that type of age. But it's going to be the most interesting thing is, where is this movie going to go, and is Spider-Man going to be involved? Because, obviously Kraven the Hunter in the comics, hunts down Spider-Man because he's a very elusive prey, and he's very unique. There's only one Spider-Man. So, don't know how that's all going to work out, but they got Russell Crowe now. And, not to mention, which I was not expecting this at all, Hulu has announced that they have asked for 20 episodes of Futurama. They're bringing back Futurama for 2023 for 20 episodes, which I think works out, if we look at the past, I think it looks at about 2 seasons. I think they break it up 10-10. And with majority of the cast returning, which when I saw this post, I was like, oh my god, yes, I do need to go on Disney Plus. I do need to binge Futurama, because I didn't see the last 2 seasons that got made. I do need to catch up on all that, but like the first 3 seasons of Futurama is stuck in my head, and I can repeat multiple lines for you, because I almost watched that more than The Simpsons. But yeah, so that Futurama is back again. I think it's the second or third time that they've been not laid to rest or cancelled, and they've brought it back again. However, unfortunately, with Hulu announcing this, it might not go off without a hitch. Futurama fans are planning to boycott it because John DiMaggio, I've probably butchered that, sorry sir, is not returning as Bender because of the fact that negotiations failed with Hulu, which is not really good. The show will still move forward without Bender. However, he is Bender. The thing is, everyone who's going to watch the show is going to hear that in their head, knowing that fact that's not Bender, and you're already going to start off, with your leg shot. You're already going to be not going off on a good start, because the fact you've just announced this and going, yeah, Futurama's back. Yeah, Bender's not returning. What? Yeah, but you're still excited, right? No, why? If you're going to bring back the show, and if the voice cast isn't dead, then you pay them the money to bring them back. No questions asked. That's pretty self-explanatory. So Futurama fans are looking to boycott that. John has mentioned on his Twitter saying bear with him. Bear with him. Hopefully things can work out because he does want to return. Obviously, Bender is a fan favorite, one of the main cast members. So I really do hope the fact that whatever sticks up Hulu's ass gets pulled out and they agree to the terms and bring John through. Because if you bring up a show, you need to have the original voice cast back, or it doesn't sound genuine, or it just sounds like you're just trying to milk this cow for one more season or 2 seasons. But yes, that did get announced, guys. So strap yourself in for 2023. So that was all the real big news that's happened the past week. We also got photos from the set of the new Lord of the Rings show, The Ring of Powers. There was actually a few photos which I posted on my Instagram, Lights Camera Rant Instagram. Which if you're not going to follow it, please follow it right now because it keeps you up to date all the time. But yeah, so we got some photos of that. No full trailer yet, but I'm guessing if it's already posted on there, the trailer can't be very far away. But it's looking very, very Lord of the Rings style. The detail looks insane. So I'm going to be very curious to see how this goes, because obviously Lord of the Rings has a very special place for a lot of people. So will this show live up to the hype for how it's all going to go? But yes, we did get those photos. And that was all the real big news that's happened the past week. So I've got 2 reviews. We've got both Peacemaker and the Book of Boba Fett. So the last episode of Peacemaker stopped dragging my heart around. Soundtrack was still good, but nothing as memorable as episode 6, which please go watch. Just the end scene, just go watch it. Please, 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 please. But this episode wasn't so much, it was still action, but this was very emotional heavy, which John Cena did very well. So what we see, when we get the full scene, we've only seen clips of it in the past, but what we see is when John Cena is a kid, with his brother, they go into a pit, they're going to fight each other, because their dad encouraged them, and as they're going to fight, he accidentally punches, he punches his brother, and his brother has a seizure, which his dad freaks out and calls him, everything under the sun, and that it's all your fault that your brother's dead, which we get at the very beginning of the show, which we can see that John Cena's character, Peacemaker, is having flashbacks over the whole thing, and he is struggling with it. And look, Peacemaker's dad, the white dragon costume, it was fantastic. So we got to see this open, this white dragon, this full suit, looks fantastic. Comic book accurate. Round of applause. Well done, James Gunn and the entire team. So obviously what we get is the fact that they're trying to run away because now all the butterflies are infected all the cops. Yes, I know how it sounds when I say butterflies, but it is correct. Trust me, watch this show. So they're trying to run away, and Peacemaker's dad, Uggy, is with his white supremacist fan club, are hunting him down, which we figure out that he's hunting him down and tracking him because of the Peacemaker helmet. So he eventually tracks him down as they're trying to run away, and they have a good fist fight back and forth. And he says, the fact it's all your fault. I should have killed you ages ago. You're weak. I do like the fact that you've slept with both man and woman. And you're like, oh, that's right. I remember that a few episodes ago. So that turns into a good fight. And I wasn't expecting him, but spoilers, the Peacemaker kills his dad while he's talking to him as he defeats him. And you see, it's not like a hooray, it's not like woo, fantastic. You see the fact that Peacemaker drops to the ground and he's crying. He realizes what he's done. It was a long time coming. And the fact that his dad's a piece of shit. He also hit Eagly, not Eagly. We see the fact that he also hit his bird, and he breaks down and crying, and obviously because of what just happened, just straight right in the head, And it's just John Cena is really conveying that emotional weight. He is the emotional anchor of the entire show, and he's doing fantastic. And I really do hope they make a season 2. Obviously, depending how next episode goes, because there's only one episode left, which is Cow or Never, which right at the end of the episode, we actually got to see what the cow looks like. And all I could think of was Predator, and it was like, you are one ugly motherfucker. It's like a butterfly that hasn't turned into a butterfly, and they're milky. It's gross. Gross. So the final is shaping up to be very strong. That is next. This week. So I'll definitely have my review for the last episode. But this particular episode, action was still on point, but the fact the emotional weight was a lot more there. We also see that Moon dies because of the fact that he tries to save the team, but the other butterfly, the cops, get him, kill him. He tries to escape in his butterfly, but she grabs him and kills him. And we see that the team's getting ready to attack the barn and to kill the cow, so the butterflies will go away. So the episode, as I said, music wasn't as on point. Still good, still good music. However, nothing as good as episode 6. But out of all the episodes, the most emotional weight is this one. And Robert Patrick does a fantastic job as playing this white supremacist dick for the entire series. So he's out because he's dead, but he's done a great job, and a round of applause. So if you haven't started watching Peacemaker, please start watching it now. I'm preaching this to everybody because of how good this TV series is so far and how well John Cena is doing. So as I said, one episode to go, and let's see how this showdown is going to go down, and we move on to the next TV show, which is not too far away. Because I've been told to watch a show called Afterlife. So I'm going to start watching that and see what that's like. So that's a review coming up. As well, over the weekend, I did see Belfast. So I will have a review for that as well for you guys. So let's move on to the next show. The last episode of the Book of Boba Fett. So, look. This episode... So, action-wise, on point. Alright? Action-wise, on point. So what we see is the fact that both Mando, Boba Fett, Finnick are all holding up in the cafeteria to hold the fight to stop the Spice Runners taking over Mos Espa. So as this progresses, we do see more of Cod Bane. He appears trying to negotiate at one point, almost begging. No, almost. What's the word I'm looking for? Almost like, like tantalizing, baiting. There we go. Baiting Boba Fett to shoot him earlier, but Boba Fett's like, no, like we'll wait until your leader comes, and then we'll discuss our terms. So overall, the episode was good in a sense with the action. There is a wonderful fight scene with Boba Fett and Mando side by side, using all the gadgets and everything on their suit, and fighting off all the Spice Runners in an awesome action scene. And we get Boba Fett with his his rocket on the back, and the townspeople from Freetown rock up to help out as well. And it turns into a full action episode. So we do see the fact that the town, the other crime lords or leaders of the sections do turn on them. We do see that, so it kind of backs them to a corner. You do see it at a point that looks like Boba Fett isn't going to win, but that turns around when he brings out his Rancor, which is from a few episodes ago, him riding it, which was an awesome scene, which I was like, yeah, that is Star Wars. So he starts using his Rancor to break up Spice Runners and the massive robots as well, because they're tearing up the town faster than the actual people can. And where we also see is that Grogu picks Mando, and he's wearing the vest. And so he does pick him in the end. We do see him in the episode. So he does appear, which, we don't know. Obviously, time will tell. However, if that's indeed the case, then we know he doesn't die when the school burns down because of Kylo Ren, which is fantastic, which means he's still alive. But he appears, and obviously Mando's all happy, and now he's got to protect him going on. But overall, we also get to see a really cool scene between Cad Bane and Boba Fett. They do a duel, which, Cad Bane actually does win the duel. However, with everything that Boba Fett learned from the Tusken Raiders, he was able to kill Cad Bane straight into the chest, and he's dead. However, there's a whole rumor that he's not actually dead, which I don't think he is. I have no doubt he will reappear. The only thing about this episode is, I don't know, because the fact that the Mando Season 2 file was out of this world, but this episode felt very, there was a lot of action, but seemed to be a bit lackluster. Like something more was meant to happen, or, it was, everything turned out fine in the end, obviously. So he's, running the town. They're all giving him respects at the end. And Boba Fett is off on a new adventure with Grogu. As well as we do see the sheriff from Freetown is actually in the Bacta tank. So he will reappear. He's not fully dead, which is really good. Because he was really good in both 2 episodes that he's appeared in so far. But this episode just felt like it was a final, but at the end of it, you weren't really like, oh, that was great, that was fantastic, this was awesome. It was more like, or for myself, I was a lot more like, yeah, okay, yep. I'm happy to see season 3 of Mando now. So, I think the overall season did give Boba Fett justice, and he definitely lived up to his Boba Fett mantra in the last episode, both just the action, the shooting, the back-to-back with Mando, and him riding the Rancor, which went to town on both the robots and was also going to town on the town, which thanks to Grogu doing his Jedi mind tricks and going to sleep, was able to stop him. So, one interesting if Boba Fett's going to appear in Mando Season 3. I have no doubt he will, because there'll probably be some kind of mission where he's going to need more people, obviously, for some kind of mission. However, there is a really good scene, I will say, both at the cafeteria. It's just Mando and Boba Fett standing there right before they go out to do their fight. And Boba Fett's like, you can leave now if you want. And Mando's like, no, we are into the end. This is the way. And Boba Fett's like, you really believe in all that Creed crap? And he's like, yes, I do. And he's like, good, we're going to need it. I thought that was a really good scene between them two, because they both have that respect. Even though Boba Fett's not fully in the Creed, he still respects Mando and with the fact that he's going to stay with him till the end, which was, I think it was a really good scene. I've seen a lot of them on TikTok and a lot of people praising that particular scene. But overall, yeah, it just seemed like it left a little bit more desired for at the end. I don't know if it was because I had too high of expectations because of Mando, but look, from face value, when I watched the episode, I was a little bit, okay, that was a little bit average. Now, looking back, letting a few days pass, I'm like, it was a solid final for just the Book of Boba Fett. Just the Book of Boba Fett. It was just a solid final. They could have done more, but everything was wrapped up nicely in a nice little box. So, if we're going to see these characters again, will we see them in Season 3 of Mando, which is going to come out at the end of this year, that we do know, and Grogu's with him. So, what did you guys think? I've seen a lot of hate for the final, of people saying like, no, this was shit. There was not enough. It was a bit lackluster. But look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and Star Wars has some of the biggest opinionated people in the world. To me, it was a solid final for Boba Fett. However, I feel like there was more on the table they could have done. But as well as I said, it could be my high expectations. So Boba Fett's done. Boba Fett's done, and in the past week, we got the first poster of Kenobi Obi-Wan coming out May 25th, 45th anniversary from A New Hope in 1977, as well as it's going to be 6 episodes, and it's going to appear in May. So right up next is Kenobi, which my excitement is through the roof for this because the fact that Hayden Christensen is returning, and we're going to get in both in Darth Vader and Anakin, so we could see some flashbacks in the Clone Wars between Episode 2 and Episode 3. This is also set 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith, and in the poster we see Obi-Wan in the desert holding Anakin's lightsaber. I did see someone say, oh, why are they holding Rey's lightsaber? I'm like, it's Anakin's. It's Anakin's lightsaber, not Rey's. Yes, but no. But yes, so right next is Kenobi. As much as I'm excited for Mando Season 3, this is going to be so good. Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen are going to bring it. They both get to have another swing at each other, and the hype is real for this show. 120 freaking percent. I don't know why I tweet, okay? But I'm so excited. It's obviously going to come out after both the Halo TV show and Moon Knight. So after them, so obviously we'll get those reviewed first. But look, guys, you need to lock in May the 25th for Kenobi. This is when it's going to start streaming. So obviously next month we're going to get the first trailer. And look, honestly, it is going to blow everything out of the water. I really hope it does, but as a part of me, it's like, this is going to be the TV series of the year. The only one that's going to rival it is going to be Mando Season 3 on how that's going to shape up. So, with that done, so tell me, guys, did you guys enjoy the Book of Boba Fett now that it's done and dusted? Or you're like, nah, look, I'm just going back to Season 2 or Season 1 of Mando. Or I didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett. I'm only ready for Kenobi. But yeah, guys, let me know. Are you enjoying Peacemaker? Did you guys enjoy the Super Bowl? Are you amped up for Uncharted, Batman, Moon Knight? Like, tell me, guys, are you excited for this? It's going to be the big year, and I'm so freaking excited, especially with Kenobi. When I saw the poster, it came in the past week, I was like, oh my god. And the fact it's May 25th, so it has confirmed when it's coming out. So only 6 episodes, and those weeks are going to go really long because I can only imagine what the final is going to be. So guys, that's all from me. Thank you for joining for me this episode, and as always, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.